Hi, everyone. Apologies for the chat disability. I just figured it out. So you are now, let us know where you're joining us from today in the chat. Apologies, but I'm glad you guys let us know. And with that, welcome to today's Training Industry Leader Talk, Upskilling Employee Technical Skills, sponsored by ComLab India, Guide, Revature, VR Vision, and What Fix. So I am Liz Spade, the Events Marketing Specialist here at Training Industry, and I'm thrilled to have you with us here today. Before we get started, I would like to quickly go over a few housekeeping items to help you interact with our speaker and get the most out of today's program. So as mentioned, you can open those chat windows now and let us know where you're joining us from today. And please feel free to use this chat window to interact with our speaker with any comments and questions. During this session, we want this to be super interactive, so we will be taking questions throughout, as well as having some dedicated time at the end. And at the end of your time here with us as well, we will have a short evaluation survey that will pop open in another tab in your browser. And we'd appreciate your thoughts on today's event. And all of our sessions are being recorded and archived on trainingindustry.com. And you will receive a follow-up email from us that will include the link to the on-demand sessions for you to share with your team. Now, if this is your first training industry event, we would love to welcome you. We exist to make connections among learning and development professionals. We offer tons of resources to support your role in L&D, like live events like today's Leader Talk, as well as through articles on our website, our magazine, conferences, research reports, our membership, and our podcast. We would also love to hear about what you've learned from today's session on social media, so please follow us on your favorite platforms for us to continue the conversation. And without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce you to our first speaker of the day. Vivek Ravichandran is the strategic executive with more than 15 years of global experience, including over 13 years at Tata Consultant Services. Vivek is recognized for building futuristic AI-powered ecosystems and his efforts on the future of work. He has led large-scale HR and workplace transformations impacting over 55,000 employees and has overseen initiatives across learning, talent management, employee experience, and HR tech. And with that, Vivek, take it away.
Thanks, Liz. Good morning, everyone. Really good to meet all of you today. And thanks for those nice words, Liz. So I'm going to do a quick check to make sure the tech works like it's supposed to. It's funny how many times it doesn't work like it's supposed to. Let me just be sure. All right.
Looks good.
Looks good. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Is it good?
It was.
Are you able to see my screen?
We saw the slides, now we're not seeing them.
Let me try to stop sharing, share again. I told you.
You're good.
All right, thank you. So, hello everyone. Like Liz said, I'm Vivek Ravichandran. I'm the SVP and Head of Product Technology and Training here at Revature. At Revature, we do something truly unique. We uncover passionate, curious individuals from all walks of life and transform them into industry-ready software engineers. We partner with enterprises not only to close skill gaps, but also to future-proof their workforce. Most recently, we've been innovating at the crossroads of talent strategy and tech enablement with our product called Evolve. It combines skill intelligence assessments to create integrated talent roadmaps, helping organizations align their people strategy with business needs. My role here is focused on designing scalable, inclusive pathways into high impact careers because we firmly believe that the next generation of engineers may not come from the traditional molds. Over the past 15 years, I've worked across consulting, delivery, and HR. But at my core, I believe I've always been a technologist. I'm thrilled to be here with you all virtually today, and I'm excited to share my thoughts on unlocking AI-ready talent from within. While I have some items planned for the session, I'd like to call out that the session is all yours. I can't quite see all of you with so many screens and so many of you joining from so many different places. But the irony is these webinars sometimes can make the presenter feel lonely. So please don't do that to me. Keep your reactions, chats, and questions coming, and I will try to answer them along the way. All right. So jumping right into our session, what do you guys see here? Any comments? Anything that you would like to post on chat? What is it that you guys think you're seeing here? Horse carts, all right. Anything else? Old pictures, black and white. All right. So what is it that you guys think this is? What is the second picture? What is the connection between these two pictures, actually? To me, these two pictures symbolize one of the biggest revolutions that mankind has ever been through, the Industrial Revolution. In a span of 15 years, Industrial Revolution changed mankind in a way nothing else did, right? What what almost perished in less than 10 years or 15 years is not just horse carts, but an entire ecosystem of horse breeders, an economy that thrived around horse and horse carts, right? And the cars, the motor industry kind of picked up, and the world saw a paradigm shift. Analysts say that the economy that we are in today is 20 times more disruptive than the Industrial Revolution. The world of work is transforming at an unprecedented pace. Automation, AI, globalization, these are not really just trends anymore. These are tidal waves reshaping industries, roles, and careers. Organizations that will lead are the ones that can unlock the true potential of AI, the potential of their workforce. But what if I told you that the secret to thriving in the future of work is already within your reach? The US Department of Labor categorizes jobs into 5 zones. Zone 1 requiring little to no preparation, could be done by anybody, even with a high school diploma, to Zone 5, where extensive preparation, graduate, or even a master's level degree is required. Traditionally, jobs in one zone could never be done by people in another. But over the last decade, technology has been becoming increasingly simpler to learn, simpler to use. People with the ability to learn on the go have pushed boundaries, worked across zones. Now, with the advent of AI, these lines are becoming bleak, almost non existent. Jobs in zone 1 may be a thing of the past. People in a zone who've learned to use AI to identify critical skills necessary for their higher order roles, leverage AI to learn them, and more importantly, work along with AI. And the ones who are doing this best are the ones that are actually thriving. However, the boon and bane of this revolution may perhaps be the same: AI, right? Today, I don't feel most enterprises fail on ambition, they fail on capability. The capability to leverage AI to build a learning culture, create an AI native workforce in an ecosystem that expands rapidly. What you see here is the list of AI tools that was there in the market 3 months ago. I just see a comment that somebody can't read them. Trust me, if I tried picking up a slide that was relevant for today, and the slide was 5x more number of tools there, right? So in such a rapidly expanding ecosystem, how do you go and hire AI talent from the market? That is the gap that we need to solve. And we've all seen this cycle before, right? Every time a new tech revolution knocks, be it cloud, mobile, cybersecurity, there is a hiring frenzy, a bidding war, a lot of posturing on LinkedIn. But the AI wave is different. It's just not a new tool set. It's an entirely new mental model. Think like the movie Inception, but for workflows, right? So the demand for AI talent is growing faster than the talent pool itself. If you're waiting to recruit somebody with 5 years of Gen AI experience, you might as well be looking for a seasoned Jedi Knight. Right? Externally available talent is costly, the market is highly competitive, and it's time consuming to find somebody who fits your bill. So your best bet is to build from within. The talent that you need is already sitting in your organization. You just haven't unlocked them yet. The biggest advantage of finding people within the organization is you have the ability to tailor them to your organization's specific needs. They are faster to deploy. They understand your culture and almost have an immediate impact in terms of what they need to deliver. Right? See, in the movie Matrix, what does Neo do? Right? He just contextually download Kung Fu just in time. Now picture your enterprise like the Matrix, but instead of Neo downloading Kung Fu into his brain, you've got your workforce downloading machine learning models, vector databases, LLM taxonomies, all this with just a little help from your L&D teams. Welcome to the new reality. AI isn't just the future, It's all our present quarterly objectives. Given that we're not going to be able to hire our way out of it, we're going to have to build our own AI heroes from within. The AI era demands not just techies, but trainables. How do you identify the trainables? In a world that's increasingly run by AI, it turns out that what truly stands out is being human. What sets them apart? It's just not the credentials, it's curiosity. It's not how much code they know, it's how coachable they are. It's not whether they can memorize syntax, it's whether they ask why before how. In short, the real differentiator in the AI age isn't Iron Man, it's MacGyver. People who can hack solutions, think sideways, and thrive in the gray areas of innovation, those are gold dust today. So if you're building an AI ready team, don't just scan for certificates, scan for Spark. The quietly curious analyst, endlessly inquisitive QA guy, the ops lead who always finds a better workaround, they might just be your next AI champions. Because, like I said, in this new era, human traits triumph skills. And when you bet on coachability and curiosity, you're just not filling roles, you're building future proof teams. In short, curiosity is greater than credentials, coachability is greater than coding experience. At Revature, we've discovered something powerful. The most successful AI talent doesn't always come from computer science or code boot camps, right? In fact, your next Gen AI or your AI superstar might be working in HR, ops, or even customer support right now. Our AI Academy in a Box solution has helped many enterprises identify and groom these gems. So my request is don't sleep on these hidden polymaths, right? So now that you have identified the trainables, how do you groom them? Too many organizations fall into this trap of sending employees into the Coursera YouTube maze, right? It's like handing Frodo the ring and saying, good luck, Mount Doom's that way. In Iron Man, what does Tony Stark do in his garage? He just doesn't tinker. He builds, tests, iterates until he's flying. That is what learning innovation today should feel like. Continuous experimentation that empowers all your employees to soar. It's not just about acquiring skills in time, but about fostering a culture of curiosity, lifelong learning, a journey to constantly identify adjacent skills, learn them, and channelize them towards their enterprise needs for growth. Also, what does Tony Stark do when he is kidnapped into a cave? He has access to scraps of technology and raw materials. He knows he has the skills to escape, but faces uncertainty on how to combine the tools and into a cohesive plan. Right? Eventually, he builds the first Iron Man suit, marking the beginning of his transformation. Similarly, we have all the tools, skills intelligence platforms, learning platforms, talent planning teams, the actual people who need to be trained. But most of us don't have a scientific way to build that cohesive roadmap. So the question each of us are confronted with is how do we chart a course to the future? This is the challenge and the opportunity facing every one of us today. What we need is a really structured, role-relevant path to fluency. Pre-curated curricula, relevant AI pathways, real-world projects, use case aligned tracks. Yes, even for the non-technology folks, right? All this bundled into a neat, ready to deploy experience. It's just not training, it is transformation. The best part about this is you can build with AI, not just for AI. AI literacy and the journey to being AI unaware to AI native can be quite overwhelming. The smart ones, they'll anyways figure it out. But hands down, the fastest way to becoming AI native, use it to solve real world problems. Whether it's rewriting documentation with LLMs, auto tagging resumes, or generating SQL queries from voice commands, make AI the co-pilot, not the prize. Give your teams the psychological permission to experiment, encourage hackathons, internal tooling revamps, and even the occasional failures, right? Celebrate the just try culture. After all, every good sci-fi journey, every good sci-fi movie had a lot of detours. Remember when Tony Stark blew up his own garage? So things like those are actually the mark of a new transformation in this whole AI learning journey, right? I'm going to take a pause here. I'm going to see if there are any questions any of you have, any reactions any of you want.
So
And why the
there was a good one in the chat. I'll call out to you. How do you know who is learning from AI and growing versus who is using AI to do their job?
Great question. And I actually see the question now. And Ashley, when you say you would like to create self-sufficient agents, I'm wanting to believe you're talking about physical agents and not AI agents. Could you just clarify? Because agents are uh, it can be anything, right? Right. Okay. So my take on this is actually you actually want to build agents who could use AI to do their job. If you're talking about physical uh, agents doing this, right? Because the difference is not going to be an agent who learns from AI and is growing. But to me, growth is actually somebody who learns from AI and starts using AI to do their job. Do use AI to augment their job. See, there are things that uh, humans can do only to a certain extent, right? It said that about 90 to 100 words is what a human brain can process every minute. There are about 300,000 parameters that you can train an AI to cross-reference and learn and draw inferences in the same time. So the compute capacity of AIs are better. It's improving by the day. So with all of that, I think eventually AI dependency is going to become native. Who do you call AI native? Somebody who could think AI first. And if somebody who is thinking AI first is somebody who has the ability to use AI along with their job and be perfect. So I think that is probably my take on your question, Ashley. I hope that answered your question. I see a couple of other questions as well. What would contextual upskilling look like? Great question, right? So contextual upskilling for me is, there was a slide that many of you couldn't read, right? There is like a zillion AI tools. Is it relevant or necessary for everybody to know everything? Probably not. What contextual upskilling means is, what does that mean in terms of its relevance to your enterprise, in terms of your job, in terms of your enterprise tech stack? How does your enterprise tech stack map against the AI architecture basics? And from there, what are the specific tools? So that is one level of contextualization when you build a learning path, and then building a learning path for people to learn only those, at least those, right? The smarter ones will anyway figure it out. They'll go figure out what more they need to learn. This is about getting the last bencher or the backbenchers be as good as Tony Stark. So if that is what we want to do, this is the first level of contextualization. The second level of contextualization is being able to give them relevant information to make their own choices. Let me give you an example. There are different ways of using in one of the AI architecture thing. There's a way of doing something using. If you're good at Python coding, you can use LangChain, right? But what if somebody's preferred mode is not to write code? They prefer a low code environment. In such cases, educating them that contextually for your preference, LangChain is not the place, LangGraph is the tool that you need to know, right? Things like those are contextual upskilling to me, and putting those in perspective of your use cases, building simulations, and helping everybody go through this journey. I think that is what we mean by contextual upskilling. And are there AI learning journeys, pathways within your organization? Absolutely, yes. We do it for us. We do it for our clients all the time. We call it AI Academy in a box. So when you're at what we do here is we help companies script their own AI transformation arc with the talent they already have. We have a method, we have a pedagogy, we have a way of delivering this for our customers. And this could be across different personas in an organization, different tool sets. So we have a bunch of different domains. We have a bunch of ways in which these can be mixed and matched. So in some sense, these are like Lego blocks that you put together and then build your own castle. So when you're trying to when you try to stop finding the perfect AI talent from the market and start building it, something wild happens. You stop chasing headlines and you start creating your own. I believe you turn retention into reinvention. You stop reacting and start rewriting the script, right? What AI literacy should we train before having them just jump in and use it? This is a great question and a perfect segue into my next slide, right? So when we went about this process of designing it for ourselves and then building it as a framework that we can scale it for a lot of our customers, we kind of extrapolated that into simple steps all of you can probably follow, right? So when it comes to AI literacy, there is AI unaware to AI native, like both ends of the spectrum, right? So there is some level of basic upskilling. What are Gen AI terms? What is an LLM? What is your lang chains, lang graphs? What is prompt engineering? And now there is something called context engineering. What is all of this? So I think the basics, the awareness of all of those are very important. I think that's the piece that we need to train them first. But if you want to take this through a journey of contextual upskilling for all of you to kind of take something back from here, and if you want to look at how do you design this, take a look at the skills inventory, right? Create a skill inventory of all the AI tools, AI skill sets that are required in your enterprise. Compare those against ideal levels of knowledge each one in different roles needs to have on each one of those skills, right? Your AI literacy for an office admin looks different from AI literacy for a clinician, looks different from AI literacy for somebody who's building hands-on Gen AI projects. So define the ideal skills, ideal roles, and identify what those skill gaps look like today. If possible, run skill assessments, skill-based assessments to be very sure about baselining the skills that exist in people today. And there is no better way to do this than to run detailed analytics on all of this to come up with your own paths that you need to build to bridge those gaps, right? So once you do that, the magic kicks in. It's interesting that once you have this view of what needs to be trained, how much of it how much AI can we leverage to create those curriculums, to deliver those to our people, to contextualize those with contextual engineering is actually scary today. So I'd encourage all of you to kind of take this back, try it in your own environments. And at some point in time, we'd love to connect back and have a conversation about how this journey is going for all of you, right? There are a few more questions. Let me try and take them. In our AI prompt training sessions, we've been allowing participants to use different LLMs and comparing results. Do you think it's getting to people on the same AI? Again, great question, right? I think with AI, I believe one size fits one. The quality of output that an LLM throws, to some extent, is a result of the LLM that we use, but to a larger extent is the prompt and the amount of details of the interaction that you have with your with the LLM, right? And there is also the fundamental difference between LLMs is whether it's optimized, it's training optimized, or it's context optimized, right? So there are these LLMs. Some LLMs are trained to give results better than the others. So it's horses for courses. You might need to let them play around. But in my view, again, this is my personal opinion. I think, let's say, a Perplexity today is almost a replacement for the best search engine because it can contextually look at what exactly you want and kind of deliver it. While Anthropic is probably the best code generator available out there today. But the world eventually will move towards stackable agents, where irrespective of what you ask, um, there would be an agent that can run the same prompt queries on different LLMs, rate them for quality, relevance, and then throw you exactly what you want. I think whoever is going to This is again my personal view. Whoever is going to crack that first is going to be the next big thing in AI. All right. I heard a sound clip discussion with Simon Sinek. Sometimes when using AI, we skip some of the internalization and learning. It will be a new challenge to keep learning in a meaningful way while using AI to increase productivity. Hazel, I think uh, I share your angst. For somebody who's deeply involved in creating AI and AI work, I think I don't want to be around to see a world where everything is AI and then the human part of it is cut down to just interactions with AI, right? Uh, but that said, I think the future is about people who can figure out ways to coexist with AI and how smart we become with it. And I've been writing a white paper on the impact of AI even in language and human behavior. Right? Many of you would have heard this, right? When the SMS was a big thing, then there was a lot of hue and cry about how it is transforming the way people are speaking. Languages have changed. People spellings have changed. There are new words getting added to the dictionary that actually don't make sense in pure English, right? But today, millions of tokens are wasted because people are trying to be polite to AI. Things like, "Hey, please, can you do this?" Right? ChatGPT doesn't have feelings, so a lot of these AI tools are actually figuring out ways to nudge people away from being even nice to AI so that they can optimize context windows. So if that is the case, is this going to have an impact in the way people will interact with each other? Are we going to become more matter of fact and less emotional? I don't know. Time will answer. And I'm really excited for the work that I'm doing on this paper. But I'll try and answer your question in context of what we are doing to a lot of our entry level talent, right? A big part of our business is hiring entry level talent, training them to be engineers, AI native engineers who are equivalent to an engineer in the market with 2 to 4 years experience, and deploying them with our customers, right? So we pride ourselves on being able to make somebody AI native, but uh, like you said, what if they don't even know the basics, right? Unless you know how to write code from scratch on Java, you may not necessarily be able to figure out how to do that using AI, right? So we've structured this in a way that for the first few weeks of our curriculum and pedagogy, it's all hands-on, ground up, and then we slowly infuse AI into not just how to use AI, but where to use AI, what tools to use when, and that's the methodology that we've been using to successfully accomplish our claim to our customers. So in case that helps, right? I've been using great tool for content creation. Absolutely. Can you respond to my question on how you display this in your organization, identifying people and training results? So Lisego, right? I think I just answered this, right? We kind of work with students who come in to kind of make this part of the pedagogy. We try and assess them for AI nativity, but more on curiosity, problem solving, all those general those things. And that's been a driver for us to select or move somebody from an AI path or not, right? Those traits are actually the ones that have been helping us do this better. All right, what AI sources are there actually that provide key sources for their conclusions in summary? There are a million, Sharon. I think today, I've tried every possible note summarizer. I've tried every possible ways to summarize meetings. There isn't one tool that fits all the needs. I think that's how the tools make their money. So they make one feature very unique to their each tool, and then you end up buying 3 or 4. So yeah, there are a lot, right? Otter, Fireflies, Crisp, Nota. There are a dime a dozen. If you just, maybe you can ask ChatGPT to list you the tools. I think that might do a better job than me. What do you feel are purely human characteristics that AI will not be able to replace? I strongly believe the only trait here is creativity. I don't think the human creativity is replaceable. That and that is on us to make it should make sure that it is irreplaceable, because if we lose that, we lose the mojo, we lose relevance in this whole AI equation, is my point of view. We've been pushing our teams to treat AI as if they were a new hire when it comes to querying, thinking about how they would explain what they want from it in the same manner they would explain to an inexperienced employee to get their prompting better. Absolutely, Damon. In my humble view, prompt engineering is not engineering; it is common sense. It is how well we can ask questions, how articulate we could be, and how So the first person, I don't know, you know this, right? Maybe many of you know this. The one of the most important prompts that has been found or discovered in the last year and a half or two is asking the AI not to hallucinate, right? Asking the AI, are you sure? For a long time, while AI had this capability, nobody asked this question because they didn't look at it like a coworker, like a co-pilot. They looked at it as something that will just answer your questions. They never, I mean, if somebody in our house came and told us something that we were not sure of, you're like, hey, are you sure? That's first nature. So I think the things like these make a big difference in making AI work for us. And I agree, treating them like an inexperienced person or a dumb person probably may help get better results from the prompts. All right, what would be the best tool for feedback when auditing? Rob, I think your question is very broad. So I'd probably wait for you to kind of deep dive more on your question while I keep moving on with my session, right? So from all our experiences, all we can say about AI training is start small. There is we've used this approach. We've had incredible success. With our AI Academy in a box, we combine platform intelligence, human coaching, change management, and enterprise scale delivery, not just to teach AI skills, but reshape organizations. We combine our deep human creativity with AI models. Our AI models have been trained to deliver hands-on, effective, outcome-based learning at enterprise scale. Right? Like I said, in a world of AI, one size fits one, and that's how we build this. Whether it's upskilling technologists or teaching HR and finance to wield Gen AI, we design it persona by persona. We'd like to believe that we are the ones making Agent Smith and Neo work together in today's world, right? We bridge them. Because in this new reality, it's not man versus machine anymore. It's man with machine ready to lead the way. So if I were to summarize everything that we spoke of before I take more questions, is stop chasing talent, start unlocking it, turn retention into reinvention. And the best part, to do all this, you really need no portals, no oracles, just a clear path in your mind on what you want to do today, what you want to do tomorrow, and then identify people within your enterprise and go about the journey one upskilled employee at a time. Every story needs a hero, and you should probably start with someone on your bench. Right? So the question that we all have today isn't whether AI will reshape your workforce. It is, are you ready to evolve your workforce? Coming back to the questions, I don't see the deep dive on the questions yet, but if there are any other questions, I'm happy to take them. How do you measure the success and ROI of AI training? Great question, Amanda. See the ROI of let me take a step back and talk about ROI of training initiatives in general, right? There has been a lot of pressure on CLOs, CIOs to even articulate value on the spend that goes into training in a modern enterprise. The ways they've been able to figure this out is to kind of try and tie that to bottom line. Business leaders understand numbers, so if the faster somebody is able to articulate value in terms of business growth, the more they've seen results. So extrapolating the same to AI and AI training initiatives, I think it's important that we reverse engineer these training initiatives from a business need. Identify the transformation that your business is going through. Have these conversations, become that partner to your business teams. Figure out what are those key problems that your business teams are going after. Try and apply your context to how do you want to uh, solve those using AI, get business buy-in on that, and then go backwards to build a training plan and enforce. You'll be surprised to see the amount of business buy-in and drive that the initiatives get, both in terms of sign-ups, participation, and overall being able to articulate those value. Right? All right. Could you give us some concrete examples of how you upskill your workforce? All right. Let me give you two examples here, Marcella. One is an entry-level graduate coming with a computer science degree or civil engineering degree. We kind of put them through a 3 to 4 week boot camp. They have an option to do a 16-week remote boot camp, but once they are in, they do a 12-week hybrid boot camp where we take them through structured pathways, right? We have different roles for which we staff for our customers. It could be a Java full stack engineer, a Salesforce admin, it could be a data engineer. Based on the role, there is a path set. And for each path, what does AI relevance mean is also set and part of the curriculum. So they go over this over their 10, 12 weeks, 16 weeks, one step at a time, and at different points in time, trying to bring together the pieces that they have learned and articulate how they're able to stitch the pieces together to exhibit value to our customers. So once we do this, there are exit assessments, there are hackathons, there are POCs that they build, and that's when they become job ready for us, right? So this is the kind of investment that we do in our people, and then they go on to become business ready employees or job ready employees for all our customers on day one. All right, can you go over the second slide that shows skills that are replaceable with AI? All right, second slide. I am assuming it is this slide that you're talking about. So if I'd like to clarify this again, right? There are different jobs in different zones that the US Department of Labor has actually listed out, right? So zone one, like I said, little to no education, nothing required, right? So it could be things like laundry workers, food preparation workers, landscaping workers. Your zone 2 is your typical bank tellers, administrative assistants. Zone 3 is your web developers, desktop publishers, those kinds of roles. And as you go up the value chain, right, database administrators, core software developers, and then finally your research scientists and all. Traditionally, people in one zone have found it very difficult to move across zones and do a job in the other zones. But with AI, people have actually figured out a way to find out what those adjacent skills are, right? Today, a web developer who's in zone 3 the smart ones are able to use AI to go and find out what are the adjacent skills, what is the next career path that they can take, what are the skills they use AI to do all of this, and then use AI to upskill themselves and move up the value chain and do all of this in less than a couple of months. Because one, tech has become simpler, right? Even AI is not really a programmer skill anymore. You can write you can build an entire web page in like less than 10 minutes using AI. So these are like using a Microsoft Office suites now. There are enough options. So that's how this transformation is happening. And this is what I was trying to explain. I hope it's clear now, right? All right. Is everyone in your training program engineers or tech people? How would your program work for scientist or L&D specialist and a project manager? Great question. We work across domains. We work across roles. We worked on building AI literacy for project managers, for executive leaders, for recently for clinicians. So the way this works is basically the secret sauce lies in our ability to derive skill intelligence for your role, identify what are the critical skills necessary, what are the AI skills necessary, and at what depth it is necessary, co-curate what an ideal curriculum looks like, create simulated environments, problem statements, and then work towards making that a curriculum that can be delivered in different shapes and forms, right? Like whether you can spend 8 hours to do it, whether you can spend 15 hours to do it, whether you can spend 40 hours to do it in a week, defines how long the training program is, and then we work with our customers to uh, deliver the training program for them. So that's possibly how this delivers value, and it's beyond all the engineers that we are working with, Amber. Right. Could you share an example of how your organization has identified experienced talent from within the company and become AI native? All right. Great question. I want to draw upon a customer case study that we had worked on, right? They had a lot of developers who their option was to either let go of them because they were going through a toolset migration, or figure out a way to repurpose them. They saw an opportunity in the AI side of it. If we trained them to leverage AI to start writing code, they could become from support engineers to actual developers, integrate themselves into a product enterprise, into their core product dev enterprise, right? So we worked with them, identified the skills like I was articulating before, put them through an intense uh, career path for about 5 weeks, and yeah, almost 70 or 60 of them were out of the 80 cleared this path, graduated this, and found new careers within the organization, right? So look at this as like the impact for the organization where this happened. First, so much tacit knowledge that they all have about the product, what it can do, is all retained. They're able to deliver this perfectly for the customers, and the amount of time and cost that they saved in this whole hiring cycle while getting somebody exactly tailoring somebody who had 10 skills to find somebody with all those 10 skills. I think there was phenomenal value, phenomenal appreciation internally in the organization, and this translated to a lot of money saved, accelerated productivity, a lot of those things. So that's probably one example. Uh, Liz, how are we doing on time? I think we are at the top of my time, so I think I have one last question to take. Maybe I'll take that and pass it back on to you.
Go
What
for
are the
it.
auditing standards for AI? This is a great question, right? This is also a doubt or a question in many people's minds, and there is no perfect answer I have for you here, right? There is a lot of research happening on ethical AI. What are the boundaries where AI could be used and where AI cannot? And this is probably an evolving piece in the whole puzzle, right? I don't know how many of you have tried this in the past. 6 months back, if you went and did something like a prompt on ChatGPT, maybe not 6 months, 10 months back, to say, can you, let's say, get Tom Cruise to do something, or can uh, you did things like that about a famous person or a famous place and asked AI, gave prompts, it would actually give you the output. Now it's trained to say, hey, I'm not supposed to do these things because these are the reasons, right? So that's a classical example of how ongoing audits and recalibration has helped make AI safer. And I'm sure the amount of work and research happening in this space, we will keep getting better at that. All right, Liz, I think I'm at time. I really, really loved this session. Phenomenal interaction. Thanks for not making me feel alone, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you feel the content resonated. If you would like to hear anything more from me, please feel free to look me up on LinkedIn. I'd like to connect with all of you and keep the conversation going. And in case you like to know more about Revature, please, you have the QR code on the screen. reach out to us, and we're excited to see how we can collaborate in helping you in your AI journey. Thank you.
Perfect. Perfectly on time. And those were so many questions that you powered through. So thank you so much for our audience participating in that. It was a wonderful session. And thank you so much, Vivek.
All right.
And
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Yes, and with that, the party is just getting started. We are going to have a 15-minute break, and up next we have Ronnie Surga joining us from VR Visions for their sessions, how Toyota, Siemens, and more use multiplayer extended reality to involve training beyond procedures. So it is going to be a good one. So in just a moment, I'm going to end this session, and you can join our next session by returning to that event lobby and going to the session tab. So please stick around for our next session, which will begin at the top of the hour. See you guys soon.